Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum class. Welcome to English grade 11 students. Today we are going to cover another SLO from our unit number 3. This is our lecture number 6 and today we are going to cover this learning outcome which is related to your reading and critical thinking. Yes, it is directly related to your reading comprehension. So let's understand our learning outcome today. We have the SLO which says, which is our learning outcome, to evaluate two or more central ideas of a text and analyze their development over the course of the text, including how they interact and build on one another to provide a complex analysis. Yes. So as we know that every text, whether it's fictional or non-fictional, is written for some main idea. There is a central point, main idea or key point as you can call it, in every kind of text that we read. Now, not only one central idea, but sometimes there are two central ideas that you can find in a text. Now, finding one central idea is very easy because that is only the one and you can find it easily. But when we are talking about two central ideas, we are going to see that how we can identify them and also see them, that how they are related and how it is developing the text and how the two central ideas they are being developed throughout the course of the text. And in doing so, we then not only have a simple analysis, but we will be covering a little complex analysis because we are going to find these central ideas, main ideas in a text. We are going to compare them, see how they are in contrast or how they are directly of one kind. Then we analyze them according to the text and then build up a very good and complex analysis. Why is it called complex? Because we are dealing with two central ideas. Now, I hope that we are clear about what a theme is. Theme is what is covering the whole text, but there can be one main idea or more than one main ideas. Now, here is your vertical linkage. The SLO number is also given. It is related to your previous class, English grade 10. And for indulging in the lecture to get involved, students, I would like you to think about this brainstorming prompt today. That what is the central idea of a text? When we are talking about text, we are talking about anything that is written for different purposes, either for giving information, for persuasion, or analyzing two argumentative ideas together, and so on. So it can cover all those different purposes of the written text. And the central idea, as it is suggested by the name, it is central. It is central to the whole text. The whole text is actually building upon this central idea. And it is also called our main idea. This tells you that what is the main point and what the author is trying to convey to you. Either it's information of any sort, either he or she is trying to persuade you into believing his or her idea or belief. And we have various purposes like for entertainment and so on. And it can be for range of different audiences or the readers. All right, I hope that now you've been doing it for some grades. You are analyzing after reading the text. You are asked to talk about the central idea, find the main idea or the key point that is mentioned. Now let's have a quick recall. I hope that you can watch it on the screen. A central idea is the author's main point. or message about a topic or idea. How can you find it out? You have to read the whole passage or the text that is under observation, that is under your reading, and then you can move on and find what is the main point or what the author is trying to convey and what is the message that is being conveyed. Now, we can have one or more central ideas. For example, if it is an essay, then each body paragraph and the paragraph between the introduction and the conclusion, that is our body paragraphs, and they can be more than one. They often has a main idea, and the text as a whole often has one overarching central idea. Now, one idea can be very much dominant, the other one can be a little less or a little more as well. So, there are overarching central ideas that you can find in a text. Now, let's see what is the difference between a central idea and also a theme. The central idea is plot focused and unique to the story if we are talking about fiction over here. So if you are trying to find central idea or main idea of a fictional text that is fictitious and imaginary, then you can clearly see that the whole idea, the whole central idea is actually plot focused. It is not out of the plot, rather it is embedded in the plot itself. Whereas when we are talking about theme, the theme is generic and not unique to an individual story. For example, the theme can be on poverty, it can be on moral values, ethics, it can be on different beliefs. There are so many different themes that the story is based upon. But there can be different central ideas that you can analyze, and they are also plot focused. All right. Let's see how we deal with a text that includes two central ideas. They can often be intertwined, which means they are related. They are interrelated or connected to form a larger complex concept. In order to teach you or to convey a complex concept, the writer can use different central ideas, but they are somehow related and intertwined. To tie together the information of these different central ideas, the author often uses transitions. Yes, there can be the use of transitional devices, different transitional phrases and words, and also relationships between the ideas. Now, those central ideas that you can find in a text, they are actually related, and there is a relationship between these two central ideas. So now let's talk about the next one, which is that how the author works with these kind of things, these two central ideas. The author might use comparisons, contrasts, cause and effect relationships, or detailed examples to show how the two ideas we are talking about, they are connected or related to each other. And now, we are very much aware that for comparisons, two ideas, they are going to be compared, they are going to be in contrast with one another. For example, the idea of capitalism or communism, these are contrasting concepts. Now, we are aware of cause and effect relationship mostly in our non-fiction, in our essays. We have cause and effect relationship essays where you can find two ideas. What is causing something and what is the effect of it. So you can find these things, comparisons, contrasts, relationships of cause and effect, and some detailed examples. What is the purpose of the author using all these techniques and transitions. It is used to link the two central ideas so that they make sense and the whole complex concept is very much clear and conveyed to you in its entirety. Now, students, I hope that you're following the lecture really well. Now, let's take a real quick example. An example could be a text discussing both the harmful effects of pollution and benefits of recycling. Now, in this kind of example, in this text, we are talking about two things: harmful effects and also benefits of recycling. Now, the problem and solution relationship is also there. We will talk about cause and effect relationship as well to combine these two ideas together. So in this way, these two ideas which I've highlighted over here might seem separate. Here we are talking about effects, but here we are talking about benefits. So these seem separate, but the author could connect them by discussing how recycling can help reduce pollution, hence relating the two central ideas together in the text. Yes, this is a very good example, and I hope that you have read so many essays like that. Now, when you're going to read any essay, any cause and effect relationship or problem solution essays, you can find the two central ideas easily. Now, here, let's look at this exemplary text that we have. The sun was beginning to set, casting long shadows across the field. A gentle breeze rustled through the tall grass, carrying the sweet scent of wildflowers. In the distance, a herd of deer grazed peacefully, their coats shimmering in the golden light. As the day drew to a close, a sense of tranquility, peace. Tranquility means peace, washed over me, reminding me of the beauty and peacefulness of nature. So, yes, we can easily identify and deduct the theme which is about nature, but here we can also see that it has two central ideas. Now, the sun was beginning to set. Let's talk about the central idea. First, the author of the text talks about beauty of nature. The text describes the peaceful and serene setting of the field at sunset. Then, not only appreciating the beauty of nature, but the author also talks about tranquility that we find in the nature itself. So it means he is relating these two ideas together. One is the appreciation of beauty, and one is the peace and tranquility that you can find in the nature. The scene evokes a sense of calm and peacefulness. Now, let's see how these two ideas are being developed over the course of the text. The beauty of nature is developed through vivid imagery. Just as we have read in the previous slide, that the use of imagery is there, the setting is also developed, and such as the description of the golden light, the rustling grass, and the grazing deer. Yes. Now, what about the second one, the second main idea, which is that the tranquility of nature? It is conveyed through the overall atmosphere and the absence of conflict or tension. As you can see in the passage, there is no conflict, there is no any kind of tension, but still we can find two central ideas. Now, how the author linked the idea of beauty and tranquility, he makes it interact and build on each other to create a powerful and evocative image of nature. And also the beauty of the setting is also contributing to the sense of peace, because when we are having a peaceful environment, a beautiful environment around us, and we are appreciating the nature, so if you look at in yourself, if you think about it, you are alone and you're having a peace and time for yourself and a very good time of tranquility. Now, this is how we found two central ideas and we related it to one another. Now let's do a very quick overall analysis. The text effectively conveys the beauty and tranquility of nature through vivid imagery and a peaceful atmosphere, also including the setting. The two central ideas of beauty and tranquility work together to create a memorable and thought-provoking description of the scene. And that's how we did this overall analysis, which is a little complex because we are dealing with two central ideas. So students, I hope that you have read the exemplary text with me and this analysis as well. So I hope that now you are very much clear about it, and I assume that you have a very good understanding. Now, after learning about what a central idea is, how is it different than a theme, and how we can find and spot different central ideas in a text, and how we can analyze it. Obviously, when we are analyzing it, we are trying to relate to each other as the author did. Now, if you are finding a text with two central ideas but they are not connected, then you will write your critical analysis about it. So here you can watch this simulation link to learn a very good and comprehensive concept of finding these two ideas together in a fictional story, in a fiction, and then relating it to each other. You can watch this video after this main lesson or when you are done with covering this lesson currently that we are learning, and then you can move on to watching that simulation video. Here you can find a worksheet attached in the resources where you have to read this text and then identify the two main ideas that are present there, how it is supported, the main idea, and how. And there are some key details as well. So if you find the space a little shorter, then you can get another page and complete this worksheet. Now this will put our learned concept into practice. Thank you, students. I hope that you have understood it really well. I hope that now you can, whenever you're reading a text, you can easily spot the two different central ideas, and then you can easily relate it to one another and present your analysis. Your analysis can include your subjectivity and your opinions as well. And if you are asked to give an objective analysis, then these things will be excluded from your analysis. So I hope that now you will come up with different texts. You can read them, access them, and then present the central ideas and also present your analysis. I'll see you in the next video lesson with another SLO of different competency. Students, take care of yourselves. I hope that everything is clear. So if you have any kind of question, you can ask me and you can type it in the comment box below. And students who are listening to the Zoom class, they are available there. You can also ask your questions right now. All right, I hope that everything is clear. If you develop the skill of fetching the main ideas or central ideas of the text, then we can say that the learning outcome is quite successful. Take care of yourselves. Allah Hafiz.